A year ago, I was searching for flights to Japan in December 2022 and I noticed something interesting. 2 weeks before I was due to go, airlines were charging outrageous prices on flights to major Japanese cities, and I desperately needed to get myself there at the lowest cost possible. Seemingly out of nowhere, I accidentally stumbled on a $320 one-way flight from Kuala Lumpur to Fukuoka on Skyscanner with a 17-hour transit, and I immediately booked it. More specifically, I'll be flying on Philippine Airlines in economy class. I'll take you along on the second leg of this journey from Manila to Fukuoka. Glad that you're joining me today, so let me transfer you back to Manila International Airport where this journey begins. Well, a very good morning from Manila Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 2. Terminal 2 at Manila's International Airport was the main home for Philippine Airlines until June 2023, where they relocated to Terminal 1 next door. Currently, only domestic flights depart out of this terminal. Completed in 1999, this broad and airy terminal was built due to the increase in the number of passengers travelling in and out of Manila. The check-in area here at Terminal 2 is rather basic but clean, with only Philippine Airlines check-in counters. As at the time of filming, only Philippine Airlines depart out of this terminal. Security and immigration was surprisingly quick, and we only had to wait 10 minutes to get to the airside. The airside here at Terminal 2 was also pretty basic, with a couple of small shops and restaurants. Weirdly, my allocated gate was behind this locked door, which was apparently the domestic section of the airport. Last time I checked, Fukuoka is not a place in the Philippines. They soon realized the mistake and shifted our flight to gate 7 after this flight departs for Haneda. Here the gate is RP C9926, a 2016 built Airbus A321 that will bring us to the land of the rising sun. Hello. Boarding was surprisingly called a few minutes earlier than the stated boarding time. Thank you. Let's get down the jet bridge and board our aircraft, shall we? Hello.
Hi, 69 gate straight ahead.
Thank you. Stepping aboard, you can see the aircraft is laid out in a 2-2 layout for business class with 12 seats. Behind that is the premium economy section with 3 rows in a 3-3 configuration, and finally, there are 169 standard economy seats in a typical 3-3 configuration, with a total of 199 seats. I was greeted by the friendly cabin crew as I made my way to my seat. This is my seat for today, seat 69K, with a decently sized pillow on my seat. First impressions, the leather seats look really clean and are quite well maintained, but they are very basic. We'll explore our seats a bit later in the video. The boarding process was completed and we pushed back from our gate. After passing various Philippine Airlines aircraft, we made a quick taxi to runway 06 for takeoff. Okay, now a bit of information about this route that we are flying today. Philippine Airlines fly once daily from Manila to Fukuoka using Airbus A321s. The only other direct competitor on this route is budget airline Cebu Pacific, flying once daily as well. Fares are pretty steep if you are originating out of Manila, with one-way fares starting at $380 and round-trip fares starting at a slightly more reasonable $460. While competitor Cebu Pacific's prices vary widely from $290 all the way to $500 round trip. This represents poor value for money for passengers originating out of Manila, given that my ticket only cost $320 from Kuala Lumpur all the way to Fukuoka via Manila in peak December season. Let's enjoy this takeoff from runway 06. Flying time up north to Fukuoka today will be a quick 3 hours and 50 minutes, covering a distance of 1,438 miles. My seat in this Airbus A321 comes with 30 inches of pitch, which felt tighter than expected for me who stands at 1.8 meters tall. Definitely tolerable for a 3-hour flight, but nothing more than that. The seat pocket contains just a safety card and nothing else. There's also a fairly standard tray table that folds down from the seat. There were no personal IFE screens on board this aircraft, but they do have streaming entertainment on board, which we will explore in a bit. The seat comes with individual air vents, something that I really appreciate. It's a feature that is absent in a significant number of aircraft nowadays. Entertainment on board this aircraft is streamed to a personal device through the MyPAL app, which has to be downloaded before the flight. There's an interactive flight map available, and there are some movies and TV shows on this flight. Not many, but definitely sufficient for a 3-hour flight. A small kid selection and music is available too. For lunch, we are given a choice of chicken and rice or beef with pasta. I went with the beef option. Our main course comes with a salad, a bread roll and butter, as well as this small packet of chocolate. The pasta was a bit on the dry side, with not much flavour, while the black pepper beef was quite flavourful. For my drink of choice, I went with apple juice. All in all, this was a pretty decent meal for a flight this length. Shortly after clearing our food trays, the cabin crew requested for the window shades to be lowered, and they dimmed the cabin lights for passengers to rest. The cabin crew also distributed blankets to those who needed them. I took the opportunity to stretch out along my row of empty seats and had a quick nap. During this period, the cabin crew did go down the aisle frequently with beverages to keep us all hydrated. I got myself another serving of apple juice. With the Japanese countryside in view, it's time to give my thoughts on Philippine Airlines. To sum up, for a full service airline, Philippine Airlines did a pretty good job in terms of the soft product, with decent food and drinks as expected for a full service airline, along with friendly cabin crew on board. Concerning the hard product on these non-new Airbus A321 workhorses, it left quite a lot to be desired. The seats, despite being well maintained, is very outdated when compared with other full service airlines in the region. Power boards and in-flight entertainment screens were unavailable, and there weren't any notable differences with the seats of low-cost carriers apart from the wing headrests. Even the legroom is similar too. There seem to be no plans to retrofit these seats with the additional features seen on the much nicer Airbus A321neos. So try to avoid these planes if you can. Now let's enjoy this landing in the Fukuoka airport. Welcome to Fukuoka. It's rather cloudy outside, and it felt great to be back in Japan. Overall, I'm generally quite happy with the Philippine Airlines experience, and I felt that the amount I paid was good value for money. I would recommend them if the price is right, but I wouldn't pay too much to fly with them, especially with the inferior hard product. With a lot more competition in 2024 compared with 2022, there are much better options out there if you shop around on sites like Skyscanner.
Thank you. Thank you, bye.
Thank you for joining me on this journey. Do remember to like and subscribe, and click on this video next to see how it's like flying on Southeast Asia's best airline. See you soon.